Sompa TV so no ani go a wo hwei nananom ya mache kase boy betie bi Sompa 90.7 Sompa 93.1 Sompa 98.9 ensama wotie kase boy mu eni de animu ebienie abayako a ware akatuantumu sa bre womni TUC womo tweda awere se beye na akatuantumu ebetimi so ayedwuma Ghana Medical Association for Swama Mabani Wiebe, a fear base more pepper sumini de kind, some condition of service, abana yama, woman de any or abino, or betty be papa. To workers say, one say abani share on Bobbebre, Mubia Deniwa, abino ediso. Emra Sebeja 4, say Diacon, Mexicano Babano Medica Bobu, on the Bisu among Yan and crime, a Bisu among Rock City Hotel, Emus Sem, Ubetina Casibwe, Emu. Emra Sebeja 4 garu anything pani enso akasa dia fa sema papa abet kandapa e dia babetu edwano eho nanano ma no pay bi ka ho na meje bere ko ne konton cross solo e dia beda mo se Sompa anopa no se abremu kase bo woyini ni amakrancha da zo of mami premeni asanteman ageme atumu amami de foforo wo bapa amesa kase ni mu nsem no enie Abani na musini ya ujina mudi bwa jumama apedie eni enyuma ho nsem so ni trade union congress fo akwakosia onmonyamfo bright wureko ena wo kirekire mu se eboa empanifo pese wo mudi etumu no enyade a obeye bibi ebetumi ama o mensi kasema baabi ejina no ebesante yakogu baabi kura se ya kasa trade union congress se kayanto akatua mu nkoa no emu nchemu no eduoso anase eduosonum wo mu hwaso ade bedru emu nchemu no eduosia enwo nanso aban nso program nchemu no edu ene dunum Deputy Minister wobo adwumadema apedie ene enyuma sem woni sentrofo twetwe enkomo onmonyamfo bright rekon brobe.
You know, they are a group, and we are also another group doing this together. So, like I said, we've been praying on them to accept something that will not break the back of government. For me, I cannot give a figure to you now, but we are working with them tomorrow. From our 15%, when they come, we are also seeking mandate from the Ministry of Finance, looking at without any problems and challenges for us going forward. In the event that there's a percentage pay rise where we cannot even pay salaries, I mean, that should not be the case. And if we explain some of these things to them, and some of the labor people are themselves economics, we have professors, all of these people who know the economy so well, and sometimes they have come with very constructive, inputs to the extent that I am very optimistic that tomorrow when we meet them, we shall be able to come to a consensus that will be acceptable to both parties. We have all the time tried our best if we could do this earlier. But, these are it's 2-3 people and many other stakeholders are in the picture. Only hear of us around this time because the budget is being read. That's why mostly you call us. But in the course of the year, we have been meeting and discussing these matters all along until it gets to a stage where we certainly have to come to a conclusion. And this is where you show lots of interest.
Way on Monyamfo Bright Rekubrobe and Wachi na Deputy General Secretary Edema Trade Union Congress Ora Joshua Ansa and Switcheremsa Quentumu as Abre Wamo Preno Wamo Bewese di Sikani Asitinamutie na wadi apre entumuno.
We have come to the table with a 75.1%, and we have actually viewed our position to 60%. Government is now at 15%. And like the Deputy Minister is saying, I think that we rejected the 15% proposal by the government, and they also did not accept our 60%, though they appreciated that we have reviewed our stand. And it is our hope that tomorrow when we meet, I think goodness will prevail. Because you all know the economic situation in this country. You all know what is happening to the workers' pockets and the economy itself. I'm happy I heard the minister saying that things are relaxed. If things are relaxed, then this is the time government should also show up to the working people of this very country.
Ghana Medical Association for say we be di bronya we abusumi edi kan pepon bosome no edi kan no ene wo mu gina ba ne so papa ni nyina da ene so condition of service aso ya won mo akatua ntumu fair wages and salary commission ene wo de nkrata ne de doctor si kire ene de wo mu so ahunu edi akopie mu association president Dr. Frank Serebo 165th general meeting ase ene odi asem ni tu dwa se adokotafo ne nurse fo wo mu ye adwuma e wapo apomdia so ye omso omunya papa bi ye so omusika sembe ko yie na janko o ma wie wo ma dwo mo ahomegye mu pension wonsem enu so betumi aboa na ne nyinada atoto mu toten enso ede ama won wo mu kirekire mu se wo mu ne mu enkoye kura ni titiru se nipa be ko adwuma no ba ko hia kwanhia bi wo ho enu so se be ye be nipa no kura so akwakoye ebo achibidin na enso amede wo mu nkora wo ma adwen enu om nipadua nyinada ne de aba afode a wo mu de kondigi nipadom ada enkwa enu nti na chese de wo mu hia no ensa aban ni gina ne naso no tumi so de yama wo mu a echinyegye bia enihu Dr. Frank Sribo.
We are often regarded as superhuman beings and as such immune to sickness. There is always the erroneous perception that because we are in the health facilities, it grants us full access to healthcare. This assertion is a brutal scam, and I must say that this is a projection of neo-colonial subjugation that hasn't helped our cause as health workers. Our work exposes us to the double burden of hazardous environment leading to exposure to multitude of afflictions. Our long and stressful working hours makes it nearly impossible and difficult for us to adopt healthy lifestyles in terms of our eating habits, exercises, and adequate sleep. We end up suffering from various forms of infectious and non-infectious communicable diseases. Our mental health is not spared in this ordeal.
And wachre na fotrosan so afa be de chire ma me abra o say asare enso said de wono makan aban no be ni nyina dade akwadwendwen mu enu nti na nei hihye bia na e wo senka wodokuta bi be krakai so oba be use tax ne niema eguso nyina da ban no e shan de free so ama won.
Our commitment to improving the conditions of our medical practitioners remains steadfast. We are actively engaged in discussions surrounding the conditions of service, and we know that progress have been made, and very soon we'll be signing the agreements moving forward. So the chairman and president of GMA, I just want to assure you that we have made some progress, and very soon Fair Wages and Salaries Commission will be calling a meeting to kickstart the operationalization or the finalization of your new conditions of service.
Anopa no nsia kasia born when you go so wo hwe ne Sompa TV so na wutietie bi so e wo radio no eso no setiefo be hwe ne so akaya November bosome ne da na to so dun so afimpinu ni aduonu e ba ko ne mu eno ne beto dwa sa bre no oso afa wo akwantempo ho nsem so kogina mu mrache be hwefie mu totu bue se tobu tumpempima wodu azizi ne ka akwantempo so ne eje sempo anka prede be wo ma ne ho bra no tinton tan atwetwa ne nyina mu so de afiri wo eno achi no fotosanso afa kanoforiata enso de baba tu mu se dwumayefo no ye bepe ba bi fofran so ne de wonu akwakohye na saa semi no nyamfo Habibu Idrisu wonu so gina aba no anamu December bo so de na to so aduasa 2021 sa hye mu kana se sa bo hye nyina betimi abamu di ama ye nuanom ne ye papa no mu a dodo anu adi dam anu mo ye dwuma e wo tobu tumu na enso wo so ma rekwan tobu tunu anya de ye bie ama wo makwakoye mu so adwuma e bon so aba ne hye ye so be de ama wo mo so a eno so akwakoye wo hwe bi wada owura Edward Duncan yo ye general secretary Edema Ghana Toll Workers Association wono no waje bre ne Sompa ntwerefo twetwe nkomoyi
uso di levy eba na di levy ba eba ni saying na okoguto mama ka bebi oh no 20 of the tolls every day enya 200,000 cedis every day tasika podo we and toll operations it is not too expensive. Once you set up the structure no any machines na work on no we set you here nyaka your paper ni ink any manpower enti anka we share operational cost this sky nya operational cost ng more than 5% say me ha mania enti profitable venture say and then e be push you ma we be close this venture now we push you onto the list of unemployed youths in the country, exposing to illegalities. As some of us, I can tell you, say, I cannot say for a fact, but when you say now, work, your colleagues need to be moved to village galamsey areas. So how would you know, say, obi akobaka or kwakoye galamsey now, wow, fighting, who spending resources to fight, we for the person to survive, he will be tempted. So what's our avenue now? He will be tempted to go into that guy and say, now we'll try to fight now.
Ora Edward Duncan any etin anu di sembie na say yede wo men yakwa wo masika no beba their friend say post budget workshop no wodi kai sin konwa abobo hu ewe ne me wo mo de kira dwen ne wasesu adwen emra se bedwa fie kira me right honorable Abanbaben and wakasa wo kire mu se abiribi asa adwumade ne bekoso nkran no eya na mra se bedwa fododo no se wo betira mra se bedwa fie mu no wadi se adwuma no na akwa ye bibi e wo ho ni na mu so ese woje bre na IMF emu enhyehyeye ne se de aban no egitu mu ni mu niam ewo mu wo mne won ma ya no durubu mu ne won ma akodare wo mu nyina tumi si hu konwa na wo hwe ekwampa wo mo bekoso ebi so wo mo kwa Rock City Hotel ebi nso so wo mo ntena emrache bedwafie mu na wo mu ni se adwumen eno ena speaker ekasafa ho.
Democracy has finally decided, and the people have prevailed on their representatives to decide that this year's post-budget workshop be held here in Parliament.
And watch na Dr. Kesa to force here drum ke to oda wo no ma no e kire me se me ro mo call committee meeting enya de ya baby o mo be kwa akoye sa post budget workshop yi e be pie mu kura e wo ho sa wo man ka no ho asem biada enso wo ho.
The Honorable MP for Boem, the Honorable Kofi Adams, has indicated publicly that there is the need for Ghana's Parliament to consider holding the post-budget workshop here. So, Speaker, he said this in good faith, considering the mood of the country, considering the state of our economy. So, Speaker, it is only right that as members of Parliament, we attempt to save the public's purse.
No, young Rock City Hotel, Biada, and Quaquadid Demo, maybe no Fiaco, Quianum, Quatted them. As some way, when my young for such a man sabo should be to say, honey, when we are in Cramp Parliament here, ya not tension, why I won't be yano, ya never from so any papa better.
On occasions when we attempted to do that, on 2 occasions when we held at Gimpa, one participation was poor, and those who participated soon after the inauguration, many of them left. And others were distracted in various ways. And so we took a decision that it's better to have these workshops outside Accra. So,
Papa, mo better cry you. Yadi amofro pupo biara kwa Rock City. Mo tramda sebe de fieme fifi brani efimo. No ma ye dwuma de aboa ma tiasema Ghana. Ane na ye to akase bono eso no. National Security penny papa bankanda pa. Na no asemo akoso e wo garu ni tempani masra 40 gu mu. Esibiri bie papa bi no akire. Papa bankanda pa kokasa wa kire mu se. Abonefo sembia na e koso won pepre ni mu. E na srafo ne yeso wo mo kwa akoboban e na mebu na wo garu ni ninu atem pani enso no wo de boni no no de asam a wakọ to dem de nya fe no no su be kire mu na contempt bi aba be so ni mu.
Critical operation in Garu in the Upper East region. Upon their arrival in Garu, the team was besieged by some irate youth who were armed with weapons, including AK-47 rifles, among others. Mr. Speaker, despite initial attempts to introduce themselves as national security personnel, the irate youth proceeded to attack the officers by firing multiple gunshots at a black Toyota Land Cruiser.
One manyan for Abet Kanda Pawie ye pena garum rachebejani on manyan for Alazuka Abet Akuka and so chire Mr. Papa chire mu anu kurenie wo be chire mu rachebeje family de okaso ne ya dwene a no woboa.
I want to state that the facts on the ground is at variance with what the minister is briefing this House, that the people were in the car and which was shot at. My checks on the ground doesn't prove that is a fact.
Nini Timpani Emra Sebejani Onimonyafo Lydia Akanvila Lamisi Wanoso Kasai papa se asemwa esi yane asema esi edi nwagro esese won ma ye buru wom no kra no yetimi mampatesika bi ekosoma wonum.
By now you are taking note of what is going on, and I want to make few recommendations to the statement that you have made. You mentioned that the issue is before court and we don't need to talk about it, but I believe that with these few recommendations, it will help us. One, we need an independent investigation into what has happened. Two, we need the people who are nursing their wounds to be helped to treat themselves. And three, you know that somebody is dead. I believe by now it has been brought to your attention that somebody is dead.
Yet workers Yabani Suria Kane, a Jesum Rasebejani or Munyanfo Cabelo, who's what drew me. Sabre were free son at yet to Ataria Franto, Ya de Cobahato, near the Acobahato. Womsi movement, you, Ya may Adia Biada Mete Branch, and Coconsus Wensi Biada, any movement. Yea, and Yakon of Franto, Nana Seminade Tiawa. Was who should be a white Jenny Papa de Magana Fonia Santimaya, a Yomunya father and Cojotra Martin, each one the anyway de Padia Manon, Ghana for do say a quack to a bar, woman to a banyan to the boom farmer independent candidate, Ala Cojotra Martin, one no, ne bet to me Sudi and Sakraya ye peno, Ediaba, Wamaino, Emu, Egafa Franto.
Alanjamatia ya me ozo do me dina chini penasem. We a politician papa. Why not Alanjamatia was on that? We see that. Why not Alan was on that? And so Alanjamatia, why a lawyer? A lawyer need to need or say economist. A prior can say a IMF. Not Ghana for me, near the other. One to me check and some way at Ghana for. I like one.
What Monyanfo Kwabena uswa dio me. Now my Ghana is your pon a gray and as a bread dear what did you media be at Intimwa. Now upon Tomase African Center of Excellence in Coastal Resilience. Ninginada NSA when we are singing about the Batan Wakabum, Asia Bantentia Twaso and 9 November Busmanida Netos will do Media no say was way idea. A bit me a boapam or my Ghana Sika Samso Akonkai, I mean Suhan Wanso Yabohon Ebang. Professor Johnson Yakubwampo, your Vice Chancellor, Walker said you Media no say, and also where you see Sinua, a idea which we are singing now. So upon would draw Ya Becca Swamoda in Siano, Wamso Kahubi, Nisanti, and what did you media yesi Wamosera so Bob Modern Waye, no one almost hunu, Natumia Bois Emma, and Faso Papa, yes, Shano, yes, and so to me a candini, so Womudia, Natumia Bois, Ameni, Riemo, and Nasi as a teremoso, Etimia Kama.
Studying fisheries and aquatic sciences. There were no fishes. Now, he has moved that department that become area of ocean so close to the Atlantic Ocean. And that is why we started the project. We started it here because first it is closer to the Atlantic Ocean. Second, I think we have universities in the world that are also closer to the Atlantic.
Yana Professor Dennis Walanyo Aheto. Ya wanoso boy Juma Coastal Ecology Studies Department UCC. And so na no to be echere Jumedie no and said the entia wodi no potin.
We have a cafeteria in there. We want a situation whereby our staff can have access to food and meals at every point in time. So we have and then we have some kitchenettes at some point. So it's a very modern facility with internet connectivity and a whole lot of facility. So the ground floor also has a space for a lab. We are going to set a modern laboratory.
Doma inkro ewo bono emantam num adehye wo wose sa bredum so ato nom ni nyina da ne se wo nkane ahonsem edwo hawa bre wo ni wo mdwumadi a wo de nkane a edi Doma municipal director ebo adwuma de ma water river authority ene netco orajon enim ene de asem etumu se be nanunie kopie mu ba bi te se nkran kwanta power station no a empan ere nhoma ema edi wo haw papa ene de abre wo nom na no dwadai ena mo hunu hawo nti wo muguso ya wo bo adwuma
la na efi emem eba bisi domano yo ba bi biensa sekani aduma na se nkoso bi ba ya chichim dedi kan ba ko wo kasapin ba ko wo nkran kwanta na ba ko wo kokumi kurum enti memfo no ba bi a omohwe bisi mi fra won kwanta so kan kwanta for the chance efiri san kwanta no so ba bisi kokumi kurum na ya so efiri kokumi kurum ya ga bisi atesi kurum bisi doma enti kan aduma ya se ya ma omoyi nkran kwanta na doma efiri na ma so abisi kasapin na ya se for to na fa ne wo e bi on be na antimi anso ala cheze foto no o biti kasapin anim enti se e ba se foto ro hodi na ye ndomafo no ye ni bibia e be se e betwa akosi bra memfo bitimi aso sa foto na bi
wo wie ye na de hia wo mo me ya sa bre wo mo kan ya honsem o ha bre wo mo no egu wo mu nyuma no wo mo so je bre e kasai
na de nyame ani de o ha ya dwena me ne ma wo fridge mba ni nyina ase because na no ye dem na enra so ye sane dem me kan na ne se mba me ne ma e ti se drink wo de woni se wa so fridge e ja no hokko mba ye ma yi ni nyina to ogu eno kra de ham se ye machines na esese bibi wo ho aga se be bonkae anope ho kokam ye nti asa apane tindun man kan ya kro ti se do man him kro ben sa no ko ne be mra bi no we de atwa yi
emoyen kra because se reda no so na edu no da omoto nso pan ntia ba ne se omo ye light no dum so sa ne ba ne sanso na ha yen ye adwuma no because
meti ni aboa pane kwore nhoma na de hia be ya doma be da summu na nanom yesra honye hwadwuma ma wo ware na bibia nso ntumi nkonkare kase yen si asante ebo Benedict samufo pani wono ene wo chechire so ameti sekurasi ni ba mesiketi ani anadwumu ni nginada wo siri pe ya adwuma kuku Veronica de Vegrijando wono so betena fidie si echinchim de ma ye Kevin MCR ho wono so akoda wo siri pe amade achi ya wabo adwuma wo hinini amakrancha da zo of mami premier ni yes sorry de ye ra man ye dubo ache to aso de ade ache bia dwumedie no ato aso.
Introducing Mixer 5G Sparkling Drink, a whole new refresh